Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Um, Tran is actually in Texas. He went to the game today. I am not in Texas right now. I had a family emergency that I had to leave for a little bit, so I am not. I'll be out of the state for a few weeks, so just got to make shift here. So I had to leave pretty quick. Um, Let me know if y'all can see me and hear me. Just give a quick thumbs up. And while you're here, those of you who are good, please hit the like button as we work through today's football game um, against the Iowa State Cyclones as we took a L 23-20. And in a lot of ways, it's eye opening because at least now we have clarity in terms of the direction of the program where we obviously probably need to go at this point. Um, and okay, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Okay. In terms of the direction of the program where we need to go, it's clear as day at this point. There's no more, picking around it. And like I've always said, I mean, I like to see everything play out. I know we still have 2 games left. Anything can happen. Blah blah blah. We got to go to Kansas twice, but everything on the table today. It's senior day. Tom Herman talking about the um, how much the seniors mean to him, and that 2017 class and some of the other Charlie Strong guys, and we get to a point where this game is just a microcosm of how all of the games, how so many of the games have been under Tom Herman, and so many mistakes, and you can't get out your own way, and and you start out good, and then something goes awry, and then we have a coaching era, and it's just one thing after another. And Sam Ellinger touched on this in his post game interview. I don't know how many people got a chance to see it. Um, and we'll talk about all the post game stuff as well. But Sam Ellinger touched on it when he kind of said, "Hey, when we felt like when we were executing and doing our stuff, Iowa State, they couldn't really hang with us. But once the moment we, you know, forget an assignment or squander something, we end up in this situation." Everything that happened today, everything you guys saw today was inexcusable. Tran hit on this big in the preview video. They had, what, 20 days to prepare for this football game? How many days they have to prepare for this? Iowa State was coming in on a short week, just having played against Kansas State. Uh, you're again the emotions of senior day. You're at home, coming off of Thanksgiving. You come out the gate and score. You go up 10-0. You have 13 points in the first quarter. You score 7 points the rest of the game. 7 points the rest of the football game through 3 quarters. And there's so many different things you can point to. Yeah, it was 20 days. So many different things you can point to here, and we'll touch on the fake punt. We'll touch on the 4th and 1. We'll touch on the last series, which ends up in Cameron Dicker kicking a 57-yard field goal just to get you to overtime. But I do want to give credit here where it's due. Iowa State, congratulations on the victory. And it's funny because I feel like I'm in the same place I was last year when we lost in Ames 23-21. I believe it was 23-21 we lost in Ames. They kick a game-winning field goal. And we were here, and Tran and I are talking about it. But that was a game. We have a late fourth quarter lead. We're hanging on. Different set of circumstances, but there was actually a lot of similarities between last year's game and this year's game in terms of how things played out. But we're sitting here, and somebody had to beat us. Somebody had to beat us, and that's what happened. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get these notifications off of here. Clear these. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I don't like having a whole bunch of things popping up and distractions. A lot of people are hitting me up right now, and I appreciate it. By the way, 228 people in here right now. Please, please, please hit that like button while you're here. Comments are flowing in. I know you guys are talking right now. But just processing everything from last year's game through this season to where we are now, there we haven't seen anything. We turn over the coaching staff. I said before, you go and get a Mike Yurcich to try to win you these games. 20 and it didn't happen. And the offense is still trash. It's trash, this offense. And it shouldn't be. Jordan Whittington was back today. Bijan Robinson starts out the game getting a whole bunch of carries, and we're trying to do that as much as we can until it gets to a point where Iowa State quickly adjusts to the outside zone. They adjust to a lot of the deep shots. Beginning of the game, you're seeing Sam Ehlinger have all the time in the world, and we're very aggressive. You could tell, hey, we've prepped for this team. We know what kind of, and again, going against Matt Campbell and knowing what those guys over there are going to do, Texas had a strategic game plan. But Iowa State's very, very good, and they quickly make adjustments. When you have people like Mike Rose and Lawrence White and all these other guys, Ishmael Young, all these other guys on the other end, they make adjustments very, very quickly. And the rest of the game, outside of I think the opening drive of the third quarter, the Texas offense had no answers whatsoever. And it sucks because we wasted a phenomenal effort from our defense. We wasted a great effort from special teams. We're over here worried about Cameron Dicker punting. And we'll get to the fake punt, I promise. But we're worried about Cameron Dicker punting. That wasn't really an issue to me. Field goal, holding, those things to me weren't issues. Special teams, we get a big kick return from Deshaun Jameson, which led to the fake punt. And I'm listening. So one of the things that stuck out to me in terms of Tom Herman, he's talking after the game and he looks so defeated. And it was, somebody said in the comment, it was reminiscent of the Charlie Strong press conference from Kansas. Totally different set of circumstances. Again, Iowa State's a great team, a very good team, not a great team. There's only a handful of great teams, but very, very good team, ranked 13th in the country, I think, in terms of the college football playoff standings. But he says every game in the Big 12 is going to be hard, and there's a lot of parity, and we're going to have our first two-loss champion. And my thing is like, would Lincoln Riley be saying that? Like is Ryan Day talking about like that about the Big Ten, where it's just like, well, this is a really tough conference and blah blah blah. Like Nick Saban, if they're playing LSU, even a team that's their equal, they don't care. Like it's not like, oh, we come in thinking we're going to play close games. Well, that's why you do. And when you play so many close games, this is why you're 5-3 with the level of talent that you have. Because during this game, there's so many examples of Texas's talent being greater than Iowa State's talent. There was not a soul. As much credit as I've given to Iowa State's defense, I like Mike Rose. He played he balled out today. I even gave him a shout out on social media. But when you look at talent perspective, Brennan Eagles, there's not one person on Iowa State that was able to cover that brother. Yet we start out the game, he gets 2 catches, I think, for 70-something yards right out the gate. And then he doesn't get another target until the third quarter. So we're getting in our what do I mean getting our own way? We're subbing in Brendan Schooler and trying to run go routes with somebody with a damn knee brace on, throwing 50-yard go routes. When we have Brendan Eagles over here We have Joshua Moore. You know, Joshua Moore used to be on this football team. Now, if we do throw it to him, it's a mile over his head. I know the brother has a 40+ inch vert, but damn. Like Jake Smith, I tweeted, is Jake Smith playing today? We finally threw him a screen pass. He caught another one, which was actually one of Sam's best throws where he rolled left and hit him around the 20. Think that was it for Jake Smith. Like, just basic stuff of starting with, is our best personnel on the field on a consistent basis all the time? Because I'm sitting here right now, I'm watching, I have the TV on in my brother's apartment right now, and it's Notre Dame versus North Carolina. I just wanted to see how Mac was doing, and uh, um, both of these teams, they always have their A personnel on the field, unless it's a quick substitution or there's two players that are pretty much equivalent. But we consistently sub in people. It just makes no sense, and it's hard to get rhythm and flow. And you're wondering, well, we haven't found our go-to guys and whatnot. Well, Brennan Eagles been tearing up Iowa State. We talked about that in the preview too. He tore up Iowa State last year. Tore him up again this year. But you know, when I got to go a whole quarter without getting a look, and then all that stress, think about it, all that stress you're putting on the defense down the field, shouldn't that open up the run game more? Like, we're still struggling to run the football. Still struggling to run the football. Did Jarrett Wiley was today? Was that Jarrett Wiley's first touchdown uh, at Texas? Somebody answer that in the chat. I know he had a lot of big catches. I think that may have been Jarrett Wiley's first touchdown. I'll cover the coaching stuff in a second because it's more complex than we may think. But I'm talking about the game right now. Yeah, that was his first touchdown. Okay. Cook and Co. Appreciate you with the donation. You're right. Hold on. You're right. It's not an issue here. Scheme, play design, adjustments, and football IQ, situational awareness seem to be bigger issues. Situational awareness. So we're gonna jump around. Situational awareness. The person that's the leader of this football team, that is end all be all, Sam Ellinger. Situational awareness. And I've been arguing with people on Twitter about this because a lot of people are saying the sack at the end of the game that he took was so let me start here, because I know, look, I'm with y'all about the coaches and holding them accountable. I'm not trying to get the coaches off the hook. In my opinion, that particular play, I'm putting almost all the blame on the quarterback in that situation, because he's a veteran and he should know. I think it was like 9 seconds left. You cannot take, the only thing that can't happen is you can't take a sack. Well, two things. You can't take a sack. You can't obviously turn the football over, but you cannot take a sack. You cannot lose yards. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know, and they said, and we ran 4 verts when we have Roshan Khan leaking out to hit him. That's a crappy play call. I agree. Plays for that situation. However, we did see in the Alabama-Georgia game back in 2018, they ran a similar concept to hit Devonta Smith for the game-winning touchdown, just to see if you can get something. However, if I'm Sam, that ball's going in the dirt at Roshan's feet with like 5 seconds left, and at least we kick from there. And it's a fit. Like, we've seen Cameron hit from there, and Cameron almost hit the 57-yarder because he's a freaking G, and still went out there and kicked some ridiculous field goal that he should have never been in a situation to attempt. And people are talking about 3-man rush. Yeah, it's a 3-man rush, but what ended up happening was 2 of the guys widen out. Sam steps up, and it was a one-on-one with Denzel Okafor and one other guy. And he still held the ball for another 2 or 3 seconds before he took the sack. That's inexcusable. That's bad football IQ in that situation. Honestly, I don't care what anybody else has to say in regards to that, because I said the same thing when Matt Ryan took a sack in the Patriots Super Bowl. I don't know how many people remember the 28-3 Atlanta versus New England game. Matt Ryan took a very similar sack and knocked his team back out of field goal range, and that enabled the Patriots to come back. Not identical situation, but my point is, you have to help your team out and say, you know what, I'm killing the ball right here. There's nothing there. We tried to throw the out route. It was incomplete, whatever. That's bad situational awareness. Now, if he's not reminded of that by the coaching staff, that's also on the coaching staff. But the coaching staff bears the blame, because the team, this was again the way Texas's energy was, and the way the defense was playing. Shout out to Chris Ash and that whole defensive coaching staff. Y'all are doing your job. But the way that they were playing, they should have won this game by a couple scores, in my opinion. They were prepared. When I say prepared, I mean mentally and physically. They were not prepared schematically. I'm not here to make excuses, Andre. I mean, I'm just saying what occurred. I started this video off, and I'll say it again. Iowa State proved at several points they were the better team overall. We have the better talent, in my opinion. I thought we even have the better defense. But Iowa State's the better team because they're better coached. They have better situational awareness in certain situations. And when all the money was on the table on 4th and 1, Iowa State was the one that got the stop. I'm a big proponent of those situations, of what that particularly looks like. We're recording with Tran tomorrow, Alex. Tran will be here tomorrow. He went to the game, and he has some family stuff going on, and I'm out of town. So I just decided to go live because I'm heated right now, as I know many of you are, and wanted to talk about this. There's 368 people in here. You guys know the deal. Your attendance is to hit that like button when you come through, and I appreciate it. But anyway, getting back to the 4th and 1, because let's talk about that. So 4th and 1 it's 20 to we're up 20-16, so it's a 4-point game. And I agree with the coaches. I agree with the coaching decision to go for it. If that was me, and don't lie, people chime in however you want to say it, or whatever you decide. In my opinion, I'm going for it. I know people say, "Oh, take the points, go up 7." Here's the thing. I'm trying to win. And in my opinion, going up 7 doesn't assure me a win. It's kind of playing not to lose. It's 4th and a yard and part of this is, I played offense my whole life. I was a quarterback, and then when I coached, I was an offensive guy. So the way I see it is, I'm always going to be aggressive, and I want to go up 2 scores. I wanted to go up 2 scores because I've also seen this team kick a field goal in the situation, go up 7, the other team scores, and we go to overtime and still lose. So I'm trying to go up 2 scores. Number 2, if you're a better football team than Iowa State, you can get a damn yard. Number 3, I know we teach players never to extend the football. In my opinion, in that situation, I thought the quarterback had an opportunity to at least somewhat extend the football away from his body, however risky it was, and try to get a first down. Number 4, the defense was playing well, and they got a stop after we didn't convert the 4th and 1. See, people keep leaving that detail out as if Iowa State went down and scored a touchdown right after the stop. No, the defense ended up getting off the field again, forcing a punt. Texas gets the ball back, I think, right under 4 minutes to go. They run off 20 seconds. That's where you lose the football game. Because when the offense got the ball back, I'm thinking 4-minute drill, get a couple first downs, and let's get out of here. Now the 4th and 1 decision, that's kind of behind me now, because my defense went and got the ball back again. So I'm not going to, if I want to blame the coaching staff, let's talk about the play call, not the decision to go for it. Because you guys are the same people that call him Turtle Tom all the time and talk about being conservative. So I'm not going to get mad. Like, to me, there's like 4 different levels of the scale of coaching. And what I mean by that is the first level, it's like kind of like if something's freezing cold and something's burning hot. Like, there's 2 extremes. And the 2 extremes are you're coaching scared and you're coaching reckless. And then there's 2 that are kind of in between, and that's conservative and aggressive. So scared, conservative, aggressive, reckless. To me, going for it on 4th and 1 where they were is aggressive. I don't mind being at aggressive. Now, there are times where you should be conservative. Where Texas messed up was the fake punt. So let's go to the fake punt. In my opinion, the conservative decision would be to punt the ball there. People are saying, well, Cameron Dicker doesn't have the ability to pin them or whatever. He may have kicked out of the end zone. I will take the touchback, outside of instead of the outcome, which is not getting the fake punt. And to me, it was unnecessary because you're up 7 in that situation. And again, the defense is playing well. Make them drive the field, even if they have to go 80 yards. But instead of being conservative, the coaching staff decided to be reckless. Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense here. They decided to be reckless with that fake punt. And Tom Herman, what bothered me is because all these coaches he did the same thing Mike McCarthy did in the Cowboys game where they're like, oh yeah, it was really good play call and we executed it all week in practice and it was great and we have been hitting on that. My problem with that though is you only use the fake punt where it's like totally makes sense, let's go for it, or if I'm like behind, I need a spark, something weird's going on. There was no need to go to reckless in that situation. It's almost like we decided no matter what, at some point in this game, we're going to run a fake punt. That's what it sounded like to me when he said that, because he started glowing about how awesome their fake punt was all week. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it was there to Roshan. I mean, yeah, that's no different than the Cowboys saying Cedric Wilson could have thrown the ball to CJ Goodwin. Yeah, it was there. That doesn't mean it was time to be that cavalier with a decision like that, though. Because you're saying, Cameron Dicker, you need to run and make a read and do this. And yeah, he may be able to do it 10 out of 10 times in practice. But now when there's live bullets and he's, I'll make a safe throw, but it's 4th and 10 or 4th and 7 or whatever it was. I mean, come on, punt the football. If worst thing that happens, he kicks it out of the end zone. We're fine. Because what you did was you put all the momentum in complete jeopardy. And your defense is some G's. They only gave up a field goal, but now the game flow changed after that, after the fake punt. So again, it's within that 4th quarter context. Going forward on 4th and 1, you're being aggressive. If y'all get mad about Sam running the ball or not handing off to Roshan or whatever, we can have that conversation. That's fine. That's just them being aggressive. Hey, Steve, I didn't agree with the play call. I would have ran. We were having success hitting the edges. I would have done something like that. You saw Iowa State went for it earlier in the game. Brees Hall, they went outside. So teams go for 4 on 4th and 1 all the time. Kicking a field goal, and then they end up in overtime and they lose. Y'all come back on this same chat and say, what? Steve, we should have gone for it and gone up 2 scores. We were being too conservative and playing not to lose. So which way do you want it? That's my thing. But I think most of us can agree that going for a fake punt in that situation is reckless. That's my point. 2 weeks to prepare. You're right, Tommy. 2 weeks to prepare. Thank you guys again for the scroll back here. I missed something. I mean, football wise, man, if you can't get a yard, then you're not the Big 12 champs. You answered your own question. Every time Iowa State absolutely, unequivocally needed a yard, they got it. They got it. We had some awesome stops, right? Overshown and Osai penetrated the backfield a couple times. We held them up. We did a great job trying to contain Brock Purdy running the football. All those, like, that was great. But when they really needed it, and they didn't just run it up the gut or do any type of quarterback sneak, they were strategic in how they called their play. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between a coaching decision and the play call. And I'm with you, Brian. I prefer to be aggressive, but I don't want to be reckless. And that's two different things. Adam Mora did play well. Steven, you and I should have a one-on-one chat soon. Absolutely, man. I know you've been hitting me on IG. We'll get around to it. It's been crazy. A lot of you guys been blowing me up today, and I appreciate it. Most of it has been good stuff. Look, I'm a fan first. I heard just like y'all did. I wanted to win this game. Trent and I bought tickets for the Big 12 championship game. We were freaking invested, man. Our hearts are broken. And not just for us we're broken because we want the team to win, but we're also broken for the kids too. Like, it's senior day. And look, Sam is Sam. He's a warrior. I love him. And yeah, I hurt for him, regardless of the outcome, of him being involved in the outcome, because he was heavily. I still hurt for him, considering what he's contributed to this program and his attitude and how he's represented everything. And he's a phenomenal person. And so seeing him run out the beginning of the, before the kickoff and all of that, it was emotional. I love number 11, always will. But there's levels to this. There's levels to this. There's levels to quarterback play, and in 2020, you can't. In 2020, you got to be able to throw the football consistently, in my opinion, as a dual threat passer. Like, it's very, very difficult to be so up and down, especially like, and I know a lot of people are going to say, Steve, are you wrong about Sam being a draftable quarterback and all that type of stuff? Look, I'm just going by what the scouts say. And a lot of people, and we've seen other players with less skills get drafted. He will get drafted. My thing is this. He has regressed from a standpoint of how he sees the field, in my opinion. Like, even in some of the last drives, like, just watching, it seems like he's going through one or two reads. I don't know if that was because of the change in the offense and he just really hasn't caught on to it like we thought he was, or how much of it is just skill set related. And the arm talent isn't great. I mean, because think about it this way. All those deep balls we had at the beginning of the game, like, some of them were great and we hit on Brennan Eagles, but other quarterbacks really would have minced some of those matchups we got, because we got some really nice one-on-ones early in the game. And some of it is not even just arm strength, but just putting the ball in a place where you can get a PI, or putting it on somebody's back shoulder. Even at the end of the game, the Jake Smith throw when we're trying to run the clock out, like, it's a tough throw. But it's a drop in the bucket throw that you do see some of the high level quarterbacks make, and he just couldn't make it. Tom Herman's undoing too. The other thing you got to look at it, this offensive line, man. Herb Hand, because I do want to talk about the offensive line and just the lack of development we've seen in season from those guys. They came out, they did a great job getting outside. Some of the outside zone stuff was really, really good. They were prepped. But overall, the fact that we still can't run the ball, like, Texas at this point should be able to do more than just run outside zone. And they can't. And then on top of that, they do struggle with, any type of blitz pickup, pass off, and Jaquan Bailey's a great player on Iowa State, and they were smart in moving him over on Christian Jones. If it's Jaquan Bailey versus Christian Jones, I'm putting my money on Jaquan Bailey. He's all Big 12. But because we can't play out of 12 personnel, and we really are only effective when we really, really open things up and spread it out. Now it's like, all right, we got to kind of be more air raid, but we don't have an air raid quarterback, and we don't do anything quickly. Like, we want to run tempo, but the ball never comes out fast. And all tempo does for us sometimes is we go 3 and out with the quickness. So it's just frustrating. Eric Bieniemy, I mean, a lot of these guys are NFL guys. I mean, here's the thing. Like, Randy, what's good, brother? I appreciate you. Kyle Shanahan, I don't think Kyle Shanahan has any intent. That would be my number one choice, honestly. Because to me, he's every bit, he has the skins on the wall from an NFL standpoint. I think he's just an amazing football coach, X and O wise. And he understands Texas, obviously, having played here. And I don't have the baggage and all that with Urban Meyer, but with Kyle, I just think he wants to stay at the NFL level and surpass his father. And from all the, the Rob Babers of the world, the people that are really dialed in to Kyle Shanahan, sounds like he wants to stay at that level. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you have to try to go get Urban Meyer and close that deal if you're Chris Del Conte. That's why I have him in the and have him in the thumbnail of this video. You have to go have that conversation and make it. I wasn't there before. I've always wanted to give everybody a fair chance. I tried to give Charlie Strong a fair chance. Everybody, but how bad does Texas want to win? And if you want to win, you have to make sure your program's still strong and Urban isn't, just running amok and destroying everything. But within the confines of coaching football, that's your best bet. Because if you don't end up with what we can't have is another Tom Herman. Because you might as well just keep Tom Herman then. And if Urban Meyer, if Urban Meyer comes along and then says no or goes to USC or doesn't want to be here, then you can't tell Tom Herman to kick rocks for Luke Fickell. I'm sorry. And I know he's doing a great job at Cincinnati, but every time you guys throw up a name of some of these other hot coaches, all of a sudden they start to fizzle out. At this point, Texas needs somebody proven, bro. Somebody and somebody that's not gonna wilt under the bright lights of Texas and all the politics that will be here and all the nonsense. You need somebody proven. And right now, the only free agent that's legit like that is Urban Meyer. Makes sense. Urban Meyer's not going to, that's somebody who has the clout to push back on a booster, push back on some of these high school football coaches that be in their feelings all the time and get political because he has skins on the wall and he can bypass them and get straight to the kid and say, do you want to be developed properly? You want to go to the NFL? Then come to Texas. Just like I've proven at Florida, Ohio State, Utah. But I don't see another move outside of that. Somebody had donated. I'm sorry I'm missing this. It's Tran and I are normally synced up and keeping up with it. Wes, thank you for the donation. Said Texas needs to be vetting coaches and have a decision by Monday. Tom had his chance. I believe there is something with the money that his buyout goes down, I think, after December 2nd, and somebody can confirm that in the chat. So they'll probably have to wait a little bit. At this point, as long as you have Urban on board, Chris Del Conte, I will afford him the patience to go radio silence, and you play out these 2 Kansas games and then make the decision after that. or not make the decision public after that. But Urban has to be all the way in the bag. Like, it can't be we fire Tom Herman and we're 80% of the way there with Urban Meyer, because Urban's the type of dude that will leave us hanging, and then we're stuck with our pants down. And y'all know what I mean by that. So, you know, it's got to be all the way in the bag. Sarkisian will be a dark horse. No, thank you. Not for this job. TFT was good. So you said December 1st. Okay. So that would be Tuesday. Sarkisian will get an audition at the Iron Bowl. Look, man, nah. I'm sorry. You gotta go. You gotta go all the way in. You gotta go all the way in. Like, just start like, and does Steve Sarkisian on paper have a better resume than Tom Herman? Or Brett Venables? Like, you want this to be his first job? Britt Lash, I appreciate the donation. No, thank you. I like what he's doing over at Miami. I like what he's doing, what he did at SMU. No, thank you. This is a big boy job. This isn't a job you can come in and, you know, we clearly, this is not the job where you get on the job learning and training. You got to be ready to go. Will Muschamp, you got to be a troll. Maybe as a D court. Thank you, Randy. It has to be somebody that's done it on a big stage, because if not, then you need to go start pursuing other big stage coaches. Like, you need to go and holler at everybody else that's been winning. Tom Allen, no, thank you. Not right now. Good coaches. Look, Tom Herman is, in my opinion, I think Tom Herman, and a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this. Tom Herman is a good football coach. And we've had some good football coaches, and not just with the head coach, but position coaches as well, and coordinators that have come here with the reputation of being really good at what they do. They've proven in all these other places, and they get to Texas and it falls apart, and they're in over their heads. And then they leave here and go to smaller schools and have success and then build their way back up. It needs to be somebody that's home run all the way through the roof, or else in my opinion, let these dudes run it back in 2021 until you find the right person. But do not fire this crew, because Chris Ash, I mean, there are people here that are doing a good job. Like, I think we all agree Chris Ash has been very impressive in his debut at Texas. Now all the defensive coordinators have been impressive in their debut, and I told you that from jump. We'll really have to assess it in 2021 with the defense when people move on. He loses to Joseph Osai, blah, blah, blah. But, and that's the other thing. Like, yeah, Chris Ash flows great with Urban Meyer. If you don't get Urban Meyer, you guys want to bring in another coach, that other coach is going to want to bring in his own defensive coordinator. Now like, we have to, that's why the Urban thing kind of fits too, because of the relationships that are already there with this current staff. My thing with BK, with Brian Kelly, why would he leave Notre Dame? That's my thing with Brian Kelly. Why to me, Notre Dame, Texas, that's a lateral move, in my opinion. I was on the Chip Kelly bandwagon, Randy, about 7 years ago, bruh, but not anymore. What have you done for me lately? Look, y'all can go through Sarkisian's resume, bro. I'm with it. But Tom Herman won a national championship as an OC at Ohio State. Tom Herman won at Houston. This is the first time he's not having the success he's normally having. So the one name that I've seen that I would pause, somebody brought it up. Let's see who it was. Julio Castillo. The only name, the only name that has been brought up, because I don't think Kyle Shanahan's realistic. I'd call him, but I don't think I just don't think he's leaving the NFL. Like any of these NFL guys, unless there's somebody in the NFL that's explicitly said that they want to go back to college and they want to recruit and they want to work with younger guys, you know, knock yourself out. Like, because at the same token, you look at Cliff, like everybody, when Cliff was in college, everybody's like, oh, he can't coach. Now, granted, the quarterback makes a huge difference, but like he's in the NFL and he's having more success in the NFL because he's the type of person that didn't want to deal with recruiting and all that. Like, let me just coach and then let the GM put everything together. There's a lot of people like that. So we also have to factor that in as well when you're talking about some of these NFL guys. Like, they're going to have to be willing. It's a different type of grind. But the name that was brought up that would intrigue me, and one of these programs is going to hire this guy. It's not going to be us. But the guy who I'm like almost sold on is Joe Brady. Joe Brady kind of changes things for me because Joe Brady now has done what he's done in two completely different scenarios, and he's thrived in both. The Joe Brady thing would intrigue me, because look at LSU now, and they can talk all their mess, but look at LSU now. Joe Brady's is the guy though where I'm like, X and O wise, he can coach. The problem is he's never been a head coach. He's super young, and it goes into all my other stuff, the politics and all that. Could that derail his genius, in my opinion? But one of these teams is going to take a chance on Joe Brady, and they're going to come up big. Georgia State coach Shaw Elliott, I'm not hiring somebody from Georgia State. No disrespect. Thank you for the comment, Jabari Jones. I don't think y'all are hearing me. Joe Brady doesn't check all the boxes, but to me, if the way I'm looking at it is, I would never feel like in a game somebody's going to outcoach me. In a situation, I feel like we would now have the advantage schematically, but you're right. He doesn't check all the boxes. Eric Bieniemy goes to the Texans. I think that'd be a good look with Deshaun Watson. Go get David Shaw from Stanford. Thank you again for the donation, brother. David Shaw's cooled off, though. It's proven. He's cooled off. The Graham Harrell thing. Graham Harrell's like a diet, is like a diet Cliff. I mean, not even diet Cliff, but a diet Joe Brady. I mean, now he's more air raid. Now, if y'all want to just see Texas go full blown air raid, but again, this is a pressure cooker of a job, and you need a big boy here. Bring up James Franklin again. You will be blocked from this chat, Alex. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's not a lot of options out there. It's really not. Lane Kiffin's been around the world. I think Lane Kiffin is in the right job for him at Ole Miss. It's in the right job for him. Hugh Pauls, thank you for the donation. Bottom line is we need to stop settling. We have enough money to sometimes break the bank. This is one of those times. Go hire Urban Meyer. Somebody said Hugh Freeze is hot name, Liberty head coach. Look, Hugh Freeze is doing a great job at Liberty. I thought he did a great job recruiting at Ole Miss, and he would recruit very well here, and he would obviously bring an explosive offensive scheme. The thing with Hugh Freeze is, what has he won big in? Please tell me, because they did assemble all that talent at Ole Miss, and I mean, they beat Bama a few times, yes, but they weren't consistent enough to win the SEC West. So like if we bring Hugh Freeze here, does that assure me that I'm going to win the Big 12? He's doing a great job at Liberty. Tom Herman did a great job at Houston. For those who don't remember, people just throwing out names. I agree. We just throwing out names. Freeze needs Bagman to succeed. He's actually that's a good point. He's gonna have to prove that. He's gonna have to prove that. Some of y'all got to realize, like, ask yourself, why is Hugh Freeze at Liberty to begin with? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Oh, Notre Dame just scored again. It's gonna be ball game. Sorry, Mac. Let me ask y'all a question. Yeah, look, I think everybody's on board that it's time to go get an elite coach. It's probably going to be Urban Meyer. We're going to have to, and there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to have to be answered about the end of Ohio State and just in general, because Texas, there are a lot of fans who are uncomfortable with that, considering his history. Now we also have to consider there's a lot of coaches with a lot of skeletons in their closet, not just Urban Meyer. Um, and how much can you handle? Because, you know, there's people that were brilliant coaches and they're not even in college football anymore. Art Briles, because it's just too much. It's just too much. But there's 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 you're gonna have to address that stuff with Urban Meyer. That is going to be real with the fan base, especially in this social climate. You guys can't be oblivious to that. But assuming we're able to move forward and say, all right, we're going to be committed to the program. Austin Cristo Conti's going to have some oversight there, and we want to go out and win and get the best players and lock down Texas again. That's kind of has to be your move. That kind of has to be your move, because, and here's the thing: if you're Urban Meyer, isn't the price going up? Because now, it's only a matter of time before USC starts calling. They're not going to stay with Clay Helton or Michigan. Now, granted, Michigan probably is going to go. I think they probably going to go a different route, like Matt Campbell, potentially somebody like that. But um, somebody that's already got that Northwestern or Midwestern type vibe. But stick with me here. When you look at Urban, what's stopping him? What did Jimbo get? 75 million. What's stopping Urban Meyer? Because Urban Meyer has a better resume than Jimbo Fisher did. What's stopping him from saying 80 million or some other crazy number? I agree, Peter. If you don't get one of those, then you call somebody that's already at a big school, and then if not, you stick with Tom Herman. Frederick, are you talking about Jason Garrett? Are we serious right now? All right. If we're going to start talking about, if you guys aren't going to take this seriously, then why should I? I mean, going back to the game though. Again, shout out to Iowa State, Brock Purdy, Brees Hall. We did a great job though on Brees Hall for most of the day. He broke one really big one that got called back for holding, but I thought we did a fabulous job of. I appreciate it, Randy. Just trying to stay hydrated over here, man. Thanks for coming through, brother. We'll have to link soon. but with I think a lot of you guys are just drunk. I think that's part. I think a lot of you guys got mad at today and hit that bottle, especially on Black Friday. I think a lot of people are drunk. So I'm just gonna start going back, talking about what I want to talk about. But Brees Hall, we did a great job there in containing. I think we held him under 100 yards rushing, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at the numbers. Y'all let me know. I can't get the depth chart up fast enough, but we um we held him down. Hutchinson didn't do anything. I think he caught one pass, and he's been their guy all year. Smash that bottle, smash that like button. I love it. Hit that like button, guys. There's 460 in here right now. 460 in here right now. That tells me y'all are like, yo, I gotta get away from the fam, bro. I gotta get away from the fam. And then Texas pissed me off. What else is there to do? I appreciate y'all hanging out. So 20 carries, 92 yards. That's a good day against a guy that's probably gonna win the dope. He's been phenomenal this year, leading the country in rushing. And so that's a win for the defense. And that last drive, by the way, on the defense, because I know they gave up a touchdown, those brothers were gassed. All right. And I'm not, again, not trying to make excuses, just the reality of the situation. How many times do you have to answer the bell? Now, they deserve criticism because they didn't hold and they gave up a touchdown. And you gotta hold all the way through. Sometimes you gotta win the whole game yourself. And the defense wasn't able to do it. And but that last drive, I believe they were gassed because the offense only ran off 20 seconds before uh, before the defense was right back on the field after the defense had gotten such a crucial stop post 4th and 1. Jason Williams, thank you for the donation. Can we talk about where the heck Caden Stearns vanished to? So somebody actually hit me up on Twitter and asked that question. So thank you for the donation, Jason. Let's talk about it. Caden Stearns is struggling. There's in terms of downfield, anything downfield coverage. Honestly, one-on-one matchups. If he gets matched up with anybody in the slot, he just doesn't seem to have much confidence. He seems to be playing really far off. He's not trusting his technique. I don't know if it's injury related where he doesn't have that same burst or quickness. I don't know what it is. Was disappointing was on the first touchdown, I think, to Shaw. Um, he doesn't make the tackle. Like at that, your job as a safety in that situation is to get the guy on the ground. Like you have to get him on the ground, period. And so he's struggling with all of that. And that's a big part of his responsibilities. Now I can't say that he's completely vanished because he did a great job in the box in the run game. Made a lot of tackles, and he is doing a good job of coming in and hitting and filling in. So it's not like he's trash all over the place. The problem is Caden Stearns right now is a decent box safety, and he's a 5-star safety that should be a free safety killing it. So that's the issue. That's the issue. Let's see. Yeah, he's been battling turf toe for everybody that was stating it. But now he definitely, Caden at this point, to me, it should be a no brainer for him to come back. It's too much bad tape out there. Too much bad tape. Last year he got the benefit of the doubt, but now it's 2 years where you've struggled like this, and you got to prove that you can stay healthy. So thank you for the donation, Matthew Miller. I appreciate you. Top 5 realistic head coach candidates and why. I don't know if I have 5 for you. Um, number 1 by a mile is Urban. I honestly don't have 5 for you. It's Urban Meyer. I would call and Urban Meyer is realistic because that's the hot name and that's the name that's been thrown around. Uh, After that, now it goes into speculation. Whether or not you want to call a Kyle Shanahan, I don't personally think that's realistic. Uh, Somebody else potentially realistic would probably be, trying to make a lateral move for Brian Kelly or somebody like that. But it, you know, at that point, now you're talking about either grabbing somebody from an already elite program that's at your level, or hiring coordinator, up and coming coach like a Luke Fickell. And I'm personally not for it, and don't have interest in that. So to me, realistically, 2021 it's either Urban Meyer or Tom Herman comes back. I don't like. That's why I'm like, you can't all the way write off Tom Herman yet, because I'm not just gonna fire Tom Herman to to see if Graham Harrell can learn on the job. Sorry. Sorry. It took Dabo Sweeney six seasons at Clemson. Now Clemson was in a different situation, different culture. Uh, Dabo did come up, I believe, as a wide receiver coach, and then he was like an interim OC, and then he took over. But he had time. He did have some time at Clemson before they became elite. But Fred, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but Frederic, here's the problem with Tom Herman, and I have not talked about it yet. Not talked about it yet. Recruiting. The difference between those of you are given saying Dabo got the benefit of the doubt and Tom Herman struggling, recruiting is horrible right now. Okay, and you have people leaving Austin like Caleb Burton and Garrett Wilson before him, and got more players leaving the state of Texas in this area. So the other thing is, recruiting is supposed to be the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I think we could. I'm sorry, but I think we could digest 7-3 with this football team not making the Big 12 championship if all those recruits were still on board and coming. But it's in combination where it's like, yo, we're not even getting Quinn Ewers. We're not even getting Caleb Burton. We're not getting any of these people. Our recruiting is trash. But then you want me to give all these chances to the head coach? Like, it can't be. Like, Dabo was like, look at Clemson's. Look at how the players that Clemson ended up getting, especially after because if y'all remember, South Carolina was kind of hot for a while when they got Clowney and Marcus Lattimore and was Gilmore. Like, they got a whole bunch of people. Brockmeyers that we lost. So recruiting, but Clemson, once Clemson started getting people like Sammy Watkins, Deshaun Watson, and all these people to Clemson, and they started really hitting on the Georgia recruiting ground, Dabo became a better coach when he started coaching all nothing but elite players. So you got to factor that in as well. So somebody put up a list. These names are ridiculous, y'all. Theo, have you seen Gary Patterson coach recently? I'm with you on Joe. I like Joe Brady. I like Joe Brady. I think Joe Brady's he's so good, he's gonna kill it anywhere. That's how much I like him. College was a joke to him when he was here, because and Joe Burrow got a lot better, no doubt, and may he get well soon. But Joe Burrow really wasn't killing it like that before Joe Brady either. Yeah, these kids want to play together. What do you mean you can't blame recruiting? Look how many two, three players Baylor, TCU, and Iowa State have, and how many Big 12 championships do those three schools have between them? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because last I checked, OU was the one that keeps winning. Baylor got what, one? TCU has what, one? Iowa State hasn't won the Big 12. So you're talking about, yeah, they beat us and they might win it this year. But yeah, we got to talk about recruiting. When you live in Austin and you get to go to Del Valley and you see Caleb Burton, who's a top receiver, killing it. Yeah, recruiting. Come on now. I think you saw a lot more Mike Yurcich today. Unfortunately, I liked some of the screens when they did call them. Unfortunately, and the outside zone is that's that the way we were running that's Mike Yurcich. But unfortunately, this offense is so broken at this point that it's one of those things where it's going to take an off season and just a whole new direction to fix it. And and to me, a new offensive line coach. Thanks for the donation. Yeah, you were picking up what I was putting down, man, with Clemson. DeAndre Hopkins, Taj Boyd, Andre Ellington, even what was that brother's name? James Davis that played there, CJ Spiller. Clemson was coming up, bro. Do you think the toxic culture at UT has something to do with Austin as well? Just a curious question. No. Think your culture is bad because you're not winning. I mean, listen to these kids like Princely that went to Florida. He grew up here. He lived here. He said he wanted to play in Austin. He wanted to stay here, but they're not sending people to the NFL. He made it very clear, and that's what these kids are looking at. Caleb Burton, he's looking at Big Bro and Garrett Wilson ball out at Ohio State. That has nothing to do with location at that point. These kids I'm talking about the top tier guys because I'm not talking about the mid four star, 3-star people. I'm talking about the top tier guy. But when you look at, I don't see any high school kid that's like, oh, I don't want to go play here or here because it's this city's liberal or this city's conservative, this city's full of blue or this city's full of red or whatever. Nah, it's, are you sending people to the league? Are you developing kids? Are people making all conference? Are they winning? We're over an hour and we'll go for a little bit more. First time I said that. Yes, we did lose to TCU and Iowa State 2 years in a row. That's why the coach is the coach is about to get fired if we don't if we have Urban Meyer in the back. You can't go 0-4 like that against those teams, and then on top of that, not beat OU. Like you beat OU one time. Yeah, it's not deep. And look, Jimbo, and a lot of people don't want to hear this. Jimbo's in what, year 3? I think this is year 3, right? For Jimbo. If A&M holds their water, and I think that game with LSU is going to be weird tomorrow, by the way. I'm just putting that energy out there right now. I just think it's going to be weird. I'm not saying LSU is going to beat A&M, but here's my thing with Jimbo. Jimbo's got A&M. Like if they hold their water and Alabama wins the SEC, A&M's in the playoffs. And I said this a few weeks ago before all their games started getting canceled by COVID, because A&M has monsters in the trenches, and that's how they decided to build their team. Offensive line, defensive line, they're dominant. Period. And they're probably going to go, uh, 8-1 or 9, whatever the record is, and then not have to play a conference championship. They're going to make the playoffs. So that's why you go get coaches like that. You don't get coaches who get to the press conference and say, "Well, all the games are going to be close, man. We're nail biters." Like you're talking, like Tom Herman's talking like he's the coach of Iowa State. Am I making sense? Like, you're talking as if you don't have all of these athletes and all in the advantage. So yeah, it's frustrating, especially in a game where Iowa State's hanging around because of good coaching. They're not going to beat themselves, and they do have a playmaker, a quarterback in Brock Purdy. He made tons of plays today when he opportunities where he could. But I talked about the scale earlier, right? Of scared versus conservative versus aggressive versus reckless. Where did Iowa State in those four categories, scared, conservative, aggressive, reckless, where did Iowa State pretty much hang out at? I personally would say conservative today. They just kind of hung out around conservative. Every now and again, they got aggressive. They went for it in the red area where they saw opportunity. They took some shots at the end of the half, but him running the clock out, they strategically would run the clock down into the half, even though they missed the field goal. That's all in the conservative range. But where would you guys say that Iowa State hung out at today? But Tom Herman coaches when he's speaking, like his mindset, he's speaking as if, we're the little engine that could. We don't blow out conference opponents because we look at everybody as if it's some, you know, ridiculous test and we psych ourselves out. Like I'm old enough to remember when Tom Herman said, "You only get nervous when you feel like you're unprepared or pressure, or whatever the quote was, or nervous or pressure." Um, Charlie Callan, thank you for that, and congratulations to your Cyclones team, man. Good luck to you on the Big 12 championship. Hope y'all beat OU. Anybody but OU. I hope I'm really rooting for y'all to get it done, and Matt Campbell, because if y'all win that game, Matt Campbell is definitely going to go to Michigan. But congratulations, and I like Iowa State's team. I like the way they play. I really do. They're not stupid like we are in terms of doing dumb stuff like fake punts. We had 2 weeks to prepare for their tight ends. We handled the tight ends pretty good for the most part. They got us down the seams a little bit. They got us on that last drive, but for the most part, I mean, they didn't kill us. I know some people remember that when Herman first came here, he was like, "You only feel pressure, or you only feel nervous if you're not prepared." But now it's like, "Oh well, we're gonna be in a dogfight this week against this team." Like even like sometimes like that's why Coach O, the way he handled last season, say what you want about Coach O, but when he was just like I think what school was that? Was it Mississippi State? It was somebody that wasn't playing well in the SEC West, and they still won by like 4 touchdowns, and he was like, "We're supposed to do that. Look at my kids. Like we're supposed to." He's like, "No disrespect to the opponent, but like we did what we were supposed to do." That's the energy you need at Texas for this thing really to pop. Because let's be real, Chris Ash's unit starting to play like that. They've been playing like that. But you can only play so many snaps. You can only be put in a dire situation so many times, and they will be held accountable. And they made a lot of mistakes still on their side of the ball. But you know, that's how their offense is built, though, guys. Is built around those tight ends. Those guys, all those guys are going to get NFL looks. And we really tried to bend as much as we could. We really did. I appreciate the 420 people that are in here. I know everybody's hot right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button though while you're here. Let's try to get this thing up to 300 likes. that do wonders for our channel, our content, pushing the videos out to more people. So while you're here hanging out, hit that like button. Dorian, I appreciate you, man. Your brother balled out again today. But you're right, we can't lose to TCU and ISU. We can't. Somebody call me. Yeah, we have to get ready for Kansas State on going to Kansas in December. That's not going to be fun. Lacey, thank you. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Omar, you are not wrong, sir. Tyler Mostello, do we have Urban lined up? I don't know. I'm not a booster, man. I don't know. All we've heard is rumors. Hit that like button, guys. Should have run an RPO on 4th and 1 or QB sweep to the left. Yeah, I don't have a problem with anybody criticizing the play calling in that for that 4th and 1. My only thing is like we all watch so much football. Some of us have a pro team and a college team. Like we always get mad when the coach decides to kick on 4th and 1, or it's like, dude, you could just go for it and get a yard. Like that's part of football. And it's like mano y mano. Let's prove it. Let's handle it right now. Let's go get this yard. It's a yard. And if we can't get a yard, then we have bigger problems. If we can't get a freaking yard. Sometimes it's very, very straightforward. Thanks, man. I appreciate all the donations, Cook and Co. And we'll definitely link up. Shoot me a text, man. I know you got my number. But I know we were talking about some stuff football related and outside of football, but hit me up, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Markel Hall, I feel the same way about my Dallas Cowboys. Why did like? All right, so Maxwell said, take the points. G is different when you could go up by 7 against a solid offense. Bro, you go up 7. You go up 7. Iowa State can still go down. They eventually scored 7 anyway, right? So you still go to overtime. Or I could try to win the game. And my other thing too is they got to stop after they didn't get the 4th and 1. See, here's my thing. Why are we so much more hung up on the 4th and 1 than we are the fake punt? Yeah, we could have been up 7. The only reason why so let me ask you this, Mahomes 15, everybody else that's questioning the 4th and 1. If Sam Ehlinger extends the ball and gets the first down, are any of you coming in here questioning whether or not they should have gone for it or not? Are any of you coming in here and saying take the points? You're only saying that because of the outcome. But if that's your logic is, well, it didn't work, so therefore it was a bad decision, they should have taken the points. Like you can't coach like that. You're only saying that because of the outcome. If the outcome was different and they got it, y'all wouldn't say anything. You could do that. You could do that with every other play in the game then. Like when they throw the swing pass to Bijan and Tariq Black gets called for holding. Like, are we going to say, well, they shouldn't have called a swing pass, bad coaching. Like you can't, like, that's so nitpicky to me. To me, it was them being, like I said, that's why I scaled it out the way I did, guys. Listen again. Scared versus conservative versus aggressive versus reckless. They were being aggressive. But once you start going fake punt territory and doing all this craziness, now we're getting reckless. And to me, the fake punt, like, because think about when the fake punt occurred, too. That occurred after the Deshaun Jameson 50-plus yard return. Then the offense goes 3 and out with the quickness. Okay, that sucked. But now, in my mind as a coach, now I want to play field position based upon where I'm at. I want to play field position. So, okay, so Copy said the fake punt kind of made sense considering Dicker isn't a punter and he can't exactly kick the ball inside the 20. So to counter that, what's wrong with him kicking in the end zone and the touchback? I'll give him the ball at the 20 then. Sucks. It's probably only like 30-yard change. But in my opinion, weighing the risk and the momentum in that situation, I'm like, you know what? Worst case scenario, if he doesn't down it, whatever, they take the ball to 20. My defense is hot. They only have 13 points right now. Let's play football. Whereas the swing and yardage is so drastically different when I run a fake punt from midfield and don't get it. It's a big difference. Yeah, Bijan's carries, he opened up hot. They did the thing again where he didn't touch the ball for a while. But I will say, Peter, if you watch some of the tape, they adjusted well to it. Iowa State did. There wasn't a lot of room for him to run. Now, this is what I said on Twitter. Where are our adjustments? You guys ran outside zone a bunch. You know, clearly we can't do anything in the interior. That's kind of where their strength lie. They felt like they couldn't move that. Where are our running back screens, our swing passes, other ways to get the ball in the hands? I saw them try one swing pass to Bijan. That's the Tariq Black holding call. Also, Tariq Black fumbled too because they're trying to force feed these snaps to the grad transfers. And again, how I started the video, put my best guys on the field, please. But why is Dicker punting? He shouldn't be the backup punter. Well, and who should be the backup punter? What are you guys saying? They don't have another punter on this. They don't have another person that can kick the ball. Their backup punter, it's either that or Jarrett Wiley. And Cameron Dicker was fine punting today. That wasn't a problem. Frank Nitty said, if you're gonna have your tight end go off for a pass on a fake punt, at least your most athletic tight end. It would have looked hot though if they subbed in a different tight end. The only reason why so they're saying that the play was supposed to go to Roshan deeper downfield, which we can't see on the TV broadcast. Kay Brewer's there because it would have looked hot if you all of a sudden just trust me, Iowa State attention to detail. Matt Campbell knows the jig would have been up if they all of a sudden take Kay Brewer off punt team to put somebody else in. Now that throws the keys off. So I hear what you're saying, but when you run the fakes, you want your fakes to be with the players that are always on those special teams units so that there's no giveaways, right? You don't want to have any type of giveaways. I'm so sorry I've gone a minute or an hour and 18 minutes without mentioning Keandre Coburn. Phenomenal effort by him today. Those are the guys I hurt for as well, that for losing this game, because he almost killed Brock Purdy on the sideline. And I think Brock Purdy will always think twice about trying to tap dance for a couple more yards. But Coburn was amazing in the run game. He was amazing in pursuit. Great job by him. And sucks that we lost the game with people giving that type of effort. It sucks that we lost the game with the way DeMarvion Overshown played. Because of the loss and everybody want to talk about the coach, I haven't gotten a chance to talk about the people that really played well today. It sucks. Chris Brown, great effort today. Jalen Green, hope he gets well soon. Before he got hurt, he was great today. Jalen Green played really, really well. It probably his most complete game as a Texas Longhorn today. DeMarvion Overshown is consistently getting better. Juwan Mitchell was tackling in the open field. All these guys playing well on defense. Effort wasted. We're 20 likes away from 300, guys. Help a brother out. I'm going to take this probably to 130, hour 30. 'Cause I can't really take breaks and stop talking since Trent's not here. Overshown was fantastic today. Trent and I are going to record tomorrow and make a more structured video of everything. But, you know, like Frank, no, and thank you for hearing me, Frank. That's just for special teams, though. I'm not saying K Brewer should be the starting. Like Jared Wiley, Malcolm Epps, why he doesn't play is beyond me. And just trying something and but I'm just saying for the special teams unit, you kind of have to show a consistent hand so when you have those fakes, it throws people off. Who's 52? 52 is Jet Bush. What's your problem with 52? He made a play today. I saw him get in there and make a tackle. What do you feel about the play execution? Execution was very inconsistent offensively today. So at times you have people going and making plays like a Brennan Eagles. But then execution. So Sam Ellinger breaks the pocket and he throws the football a mile over Joshua Moore's head. Well, how are we supposed to make a play on that? Or you have people falling down, missing blocks, and getting manhandled. But that's been the case all season. 4th and 1. Is it a bad play call or is it the fact that somebody missed their block or got pushed into the backfield and now it's disaster? No, Marley, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. This is therapy for me too. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Mutually beneficial relationship. I see 299 likes. So if one more person here could hit the like button, we'd be good. We should be good. Dan Mullen struggled with Florida till Felipe Franks got injured and suddenly Trask turned that team around. Yep. Trask playing better than our guy, though, unfortunately. Sam statistically, unbelievable career, statistically. And on and off the field, unbelievable person, leader. He did bring this program back to where we're not, at least not even making bowls. Okay. But there is a talent gap at that position. And I haven't said that before on this channel because I like the guy but I can't lie. The film is what it is. At this point, if I told you I wasn't intrigued by the guys who have more physical tools behind them, I'd be lying. But he gave us everything. And that's the thing too. It's like they're talking about next season, right? Like these seniors have a decision to make. And if Sam Ellinger comes back for 2021, does that help or hurt Texas? Oh, Tran's gonna make a guest appearance. Hang on one second. We got a special treat for y'all. I'm about to bring Tran in. All right. If y'all want to stick around for a little bit, Tran's about to come on, and we're just gonna rap for a little bit because I can't wait to hear what he has to say since he was at the game today. Everybody got a guy. T. Reezy. Let me hit him and make sure you got it. We're bringing him in. He says Tramba hitting the bottle. Stop it. Yo, that fake punt was horrible. And so I didn't even get to recover. Like, I have PTSD from I have PTSD still from the fake punt yesterday that the Cowboys did. Freaking morons. I appreciate you, Antoine Bennett. Thank you. Thank you. Yo,
What's up, man?
what's up, man? Welcome to the live. We got 380 in here right now.
Oh, look at that.
A lot of people have been waiting to see your face, brother. Show us your face.
So
We want to see your face. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, we're good. We're good. Just what's funny is that I'm not even that mad. I wasn't even that mad coming out of the game. I thought to myself, honestly, this team right here loses to OU by more than 10. And I don't know if I could deal with that in person again, just losing the way that they lost the last time we went to a Big 12 game. Big 12 game. So Big 12 championship game. It was a rough loss. It was even more rough seeing it in person live. I don't blame Dicker for it at all. I know there's people that are complaining like, that's one job you have is kicking. You should be able to kick. Like, it's a 57-yard field goal with guys running at you. I mean, it's not a big thing. I don't blame Sam. I thought Sam actually kind of looked pretty sharp today. There's a lot of good that came from the offense, but it just got stagnant. And we can't really discredit the fact that the Iowa State defense made their adjustments against us, because we were driving down the field. I think the turning point was the big fumble. Defense played very well, I thought.
We fell apart after the Tariq Black fumble offense. Mm-hmm. Hang on 1 second. I want to do something here, because how much time you got on your side? You got a few minutes?
Yeah, I got a few minutes.
All right. I want to record. I want to record this, and then post this so people can see our reaction together. Because the first we haven't texted, we haven't done it other than the ticket conversation.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me hit record real quick.
Do you want to start with that, by the way?
Yeah. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. Hang on 1 second.
Sounds good.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna hit record. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. So Trent and I are recording right now, and we are this is so everybody can kind of see the live fanatic perspective reaction. For those of you in the chat, we'll continue to do the chat. But so after a very painful not season ending loss, but Big 12 championship hopes lost, and congratulations to the Iowa State Cyclones. Mm-hmm. I wanted to start with you here in terms of, we were so optimistic a couple weeks ago, or, this past week, in terms of getting tickets.
We were not optimistic. We were hoping. We were gambling. I wouldn't say we were optimistic.
Okay. If you want to, you want to put it that way, put it that way. I was optimistic. I thought we had turned the corner, man. In terms of not offensively, I knew what the offense was, but I thought we were 20 days of prep to the point that you made in the preview. We'd have enough time to do more than the 13-point, blow our load in the first quarter and then do nothing the rest of the game. So I'm just, I'm frustrated that our defense played as well as they did again.
Mhm.
And we didn't have some of the issues that we were worried about with the kicking game. But not only can we not get out of our own way, that Sam said perfectly after the game, but the coaches and all this other crap going on that just screws us up.
Yeah, no, you're right. Definitely one of the things that resonated with me during this loss on the long drive home was Mike Yursich was talking about, you know, the average offense in the Big 12 scores 47 points a game.
If you want to
So
win.
if you want to win. So if we held a team to 23 points, by that logic, it's a win every single time, right? So, you know, a lot should fall on the shoulders or the shoulders of whoever's calling the offense. To me, this actually kind of looked like Mike Yursich's
Mhm.
formations. But I mean, we're not utilizing our best talents. I thought Brendan Eagles was great today, by the way. Route running, being
We
physical.
called that out though in
Yeah.
our pregame. We,
Mhm.
we we specifically called out Brennan Eagles because he had a monster game against Iowa State last year. Nothing changed.
No, nothing.
They still can't guard him.
He's still a
Not,
6'3",
right,
230-pound guy who can move, who can
right.
break out of his
Nothing
routes.
changed. And you know what else didn't change from Ames to Austin? Iowa State scoring 23 points.
Hmm. No, nothing. Nothing. What they
They beat
scored
us.
last year,
It
24.
was it was 20. No, I think they beat us 23-21 because we were up, I think 21-20, and they walked off. They beat us 23-21, and this year they beat us 23-20. Nothing changed.
No,
Hey
nothing changed.
James, what's good, man? Appreciate everybody that's in here right now. But Tran, what was it like being there? Because I really wish I got to be there with you today. I told people at the beginning, I had some emergency family business I had to
Mhm.
come out of town for, so won't be in Texas for a little while. But you and the whole crew assembling together to go hold it down and on senior day, what was that like?
It was really nice. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was around a good group of guys. You know them all. Had a great time. The whole game was going well until I don't know after the first drive and after halftime. In third quarter, then it just started. To me, it just seemed like it. It just seemed like this game has an eerie feeling to me. But I also had an eerie feeling before the game, and that's why I text you. It was like it just doesn't feel right going to the game without you. Something feels weird. I've noticed this
Yeah,
whole year with whenever the Cowboys lose, Texas loses, or vice versa, and it just had a strange feeling to me early this morning. But the atmosphere is great. I really wish that uh, it was kind of sad to see them all come out for senior day, and it was very quiet. It was
yeah,
just because of
yeah.
how many people were there. But it's like it's been all year. The short lines, fantastic. Getting in and out of there fast, great. But other than that, it just didn't. It just had a weird feeling to me the whole day.
Talk to me about Sam. So we've had a lot of conversations. We as a channel, as friends, we've defended him uh, a lot, and I've talked a lot about Sam's play in this particular game, but just what you saw. Um,
I'm laughing.
what you
It's
saw.
because Trey picked Texas to win.
You did, yeah. You
I
did do the
did. I
reverse
did.
jinx.
I
Good
did. I
call out,
should have.
Marley.
Good call.
Good,
Good
good
call.
call, Marley.
Um, I mean, he hit. He hit on a few deep balls. He was inaccurate and he missed a lot of wide open people. Brock Purdy missed quite a few because there's a couple seam routes that he missed a lot too. Watching the all 22, you get to visualize that a little bit better. But on his intermediate routes, he was good. He was right there. He threw catchable balls. The only ball that I saw that was just, I mean, it was still what, maybe 30 yards down the field was the Joshua Moore pass where it was like 45 inches above his 45-inch vertical.
That one bothered me
Yeah.
because there was no pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Yeah.
He had so much space that he could really, take his time, step into the throw, and he just airmails it. And so some of the throws where he had, like, this was the rare game where they're not really trying to heat you up like that. That's not part of their scheme. They'll strategically send some heat, but for the most part, they're gonna let you sit there, get comfortable, but we're gonna try to dictate where we want you to throw the ball. And I just felt like, damn, give our guys a chance. Like you gave Brennan Eagles a chance a lot of times, and he was coming through for us.
Yeah. Also, once again, something that's bugged us all year was Jared Wiley. He had one target, which was the touchdown. Of course, he's wide open.
It's just a damn shame that he had one touchdown this year.
And that was it. Malcolm F's nowhere to be found. Those guys are matchup nightmares. I don't care what anyone says. Mike Rose was great, for Iowa State. I think he spied Sam a lot. However, Sam was able to break some runs. So, anyone saying that he was hurt this game, I don't believe that. He looked pretty strong, pretty focused on how to choose whether he's going to run or not. So, it's the deep balls. That's a big knock against him. Big knock against him. One of the questions that one of my group asked me on the way out, he said, with the way that Sam loves Texas, and with the way he lost on senior night like this, what does he do?
Yep. So they asked him straight up, and he said,
I haven't made up my mind.
Yeah, like, and I wouldn't expect
anybody. Person. That's their PR person telling them to say that.
I wouldn't. It's tough because I wouldn't expect him to have a go-to answer right after a game. I think the only person we got full-blown clarity that they're gone is Samuel Cosme, because he came out there today, and there's we kind of knew some stuff behind the scenes, but he was a red shirt from that class. And so it was like, and I think several of us were talking about it, but Samuel Cosme is gone. Like,
he should be gone. He should be gone.
But that was kind of made clear today. Whereas like the Sam, whereas everybody else, like Derek Kerstetter, like I will say it again, I think he should come back. Like there's a couple people where I'm like, I do think that it would be mutually beneficial for them to come back to the school. Here's my question for you. Would it be beneficial for Texas if Sam Ehlinger returned next year? Or does that depend on who's the head coach?
And that's what I said to them. I said it all depends on on who the coaching staff is. I think if Urban Meyer, the guy everyone's been dreaming and drooling over, is the guy, I think Urban Meyer wants a player like him as the leader to be the transition class. If it's Tom Herman, I think he's gone again. Right.
So you think if Urban Meyer comes,
he's going to want to fight for him to come here, just to stay here?
I see it the other way around.
You do?
Okay. I think because I think Urban Meyer would just want a clean slate, and I think he could, between the quarterbacks that are currently here, Casey Thompson, Hudson Card, Quentin Jackson, there's more than enough that Urban can start with from a quarterback perspective. Versus like Tom Herman and Sam Ehlinger are tied. They both started here day one together. They both could leave here together. So I could see if Tom gets another year because we can't get Urban, I could see Tom having the conversation with Sam, but that's also then how the hell do you hold the quarterback room together? Because all those dudes are being patient. They're like, how long can you ask Casey Thompson to be a good sport about it?
You can't. Maybe he gets a doctorate degree from Texas. No, but I mean, all I'm going off of is just whenever Urban Meyer says anything about Texas, the positives that he says about it is usually about Sam.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. I mean, he always has some little one of his little jabs to throw in about, oh, they lost the locker room, the chemistry's not there, the development's not there. But then when he talks about Sam Ellinger, he's like, this guy's a winner, this guy's a leader. He has all the intangibles to be one of the best college quarterbacks in the nation. You know, stuff
That's a
like
good
that.
point.
So that's why I said he would. Plus, you know, I'm not gonna compare him to Tebow because Tebow won 2 national championships. I'll say one because I honestly think that Chris Leak won the first one. He was just a situational QB, the first one.
Yeah,
But
he's the
he won.
curveball.
Yeah, he won a national championship. He has a similar skill set to him. No, he does.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tebow had Percy Harvin, who they never had issues getting the ball to. Aaron Hernandez never had issues getting the ball to, right? Riley
So
Cooper, all these guys
so
that were.
I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that they are these guys, but Jordan Whittington,
Oh no, we got dudes,
Jake
but we
Smith.
can't get the ball to them.
That's what I'm saying. But with Urban Meyer and Urban Meyer's, you know, I guess game plan or what he wants to see, his vision, you don't think he would get it to the.
I do think
Yeah.
with Urban Meyer here, and it sucks that we're talking like this, but it is what it is.
It really is.
It sucks that we're talking like this, but I do think with Urban Meyer here, dudes aren't coming off the field every other drive in terms of rotations. Like that whole I don't see other people doing this. Am I tripping? Like in terms of when we watch, because we watch Ohio State and all these other. Garrett Wilson's always out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them taking Olave off the field like every other series. Like what? And putting them and then you put again, no disrespect to Brendan Schooler, but you put in the guy with the, you know how I am when it comes to dudes with the knee brace running deep routes. That's not the move. And he has an issue tracking the football, which he showed
I was
in the Texas Tech game.
I was going to say that. So I don't understand his route that he ran. He had the whole sideline open. It's a 9 route. You don't need to run it over.
He was running towards the middle of the field.
People are going to probably blame Sam for a bad throw on that. Sam threw it where he should have thrown it to, where only Brendan could catch it. But he ran towards where the safety should have been at, you know? So I take that one off of his bad pass chart. So, I mean,
I'm gonna ask you.
I agree with you. He keep the winning personnel out there. And hey, if you want to crack this rotation, prove it to me. Show me. You know.
Yeah. Because right now the only people that need to be rotating in are Jordan Whittington. I don't mind him rotating in on a consistent basis and moving him around, and you trying to flex out some of the tight ends if you do have them out there in terms of your sets or whatever. But if you're going to do that, then Malcolm Epps or Jared Wiley, whoever's in there, needs to be flexed out and part of the route tree and concepts. You can't just only throw to him one time randomly in the end zone. And of course he's wide open, right? But so let me ask you two questions, situational football for this video, because we don't have much time with you. The 4th and 1 play call we have not talked about. What was your thoughts?
Then don't mind it.
Okay, so we agree there. I agree. I would have. Yeah, I've said I would have gone for it too. But go ahead.
Hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, we would have. After the fact, we would have loved the 3 points because that saves the game, and we're playing extra football. But the way we were driving the ball and the way we were running the ball, 1 yard. We knock off another, or we make them use all of their timeouts. It's either we knock off 3 minutes or they use their timeouts right there. And then
we potentially go up 11 points.
Or we get the first down, we waste their timeouts, or we waste time and then we kick the field goal and we still get 7 points. So I mean, a 7-point lead. So I don't mind that at all right there. The fake
Thank you.
punt.
Hmm.
See, I'm torn because Cowboys fake punt was the shittiest fake punt I've ever seen in my life. The dude had to run 43 yards to try to get 3 yards. At least this one had some sort of design for the sticks. But I think the differential in yardage was 15 yards or maybe 20 yards, because I think we almost got there. We were two yards away, and if we would have punted in, most likely it would have been either a touchback or a fair catch around the 15 to 20.
That just destroyed momentum, though.
Yeah, it did. So I don't understand why, if you were going to go for it there, I'd rather you kept the offense out there.
Emery Wynn just brought up the point that I was talking about. We need to be more upset with the offense for not executing 4-minute drill. Thank you for bringing that up, because her point is they have 4 minutes to get 10 yards and move the get it down. I'm like, that's what we need to be focused on. We're complaining and bitching about the 4th and 1. The defense got to stop after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've reiterated this multiple times in the live chat here, but if you're critical of the play call itself, go off. I don't know if I would have run that exact play. Again, this is just me. I got to watch it back a bunch of times. I think Sam could have. That's the rare occasion where I would have liked to see a player extend the football and try to get the first down. But regardless of that, what occurred was your defense got to stop again. And then you had 4 minutes. What is the point of 4-minute drill if we're not going to do 4-minute drill, Tran?
Are you talking about where we ran it? We got 6 yards, pass.
No, I'm talking about, so we 4th and 1, we got stopped, right? And then the defense, Iowa State maybe got a first down to 2. Defense held. They punted. We ran on first down, and then we threw the deep ball to Jake Smith, who was open. They missed it, right? And then I think we threw an incomplete pass to Joshua Moore, and we had to punt. And so in that sequence, we lost 20.
We gave them
we burned
a
20
timeout.
seconds.
Yeah, we gave them a timeout, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the first pass, but once you incompleted it, because if you get the first down, your offense is moving. You can run, make them call timeouts, and you flip the field right there. But since we missed that first pass, I mean, you run the ball and you make them either use a timeout or you run down the clock for at least 40 seconds. So it was right there. I mean, it was a good call on the second down pass, but yeah, we gave him 2 timeouts essentially. So free time.
That series, the fake punt, and Sam taking the sack. That's just bad football.
Are you talking about the last drive that put us to the 57-yarder?
Yes.
I'm not. Did you see that the right tackle got blown up? I mean, the right tackle that whole last drive was getting blown up.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Christian Jones.
Right, because they put Jaquan Bailey on him.
Like we said.
Right. But the last play, because I've rewatched that play about 20 times already.
Okay.
That last play, Jaquan Bailey, I think, was actually, I don't know if he was on the right or left side, but my point is they both widened out.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam steps up pretty quick. And when he steps up, there's only one person left. And that one person was one-on-one with Denzel Okafor, and that's the person that got the sack. But the way that what they were saying was we were running 4 verts with Roshan Johnson coming up, leaking, going out, and we try to, hit him real quick and then call timeout. My thing is, as a quarterback, and we've seen this so many times, you have to know, whatever happens, whatever the play is, I cannot take a sack. I cannot eat the football. Like that's
the worst.
That's the worst scenario.
Other
than turnover, I cannot get sacked. So, and again, it's only like 9 seconds, right? So once I step up, once he stepped up, the ball had to come out. And even if you're throwing it at Roshan's feet and just clocking it essentially and saying, all right, play's dead. Or like, because once he stepped up, or you throw it deep down the sideline, throw the shit out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then we kick a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But like that's bad football. You cannot get sacked right there. That's the one thing that can't happen.
So the thing that bothered me about that whole drive is we had 2 timeouts and we didn't test the middle one time. We didn't try a little seam route or a little post route that hit it over the middle.
Yeah.
To try, and it's wide open when you have 2 timeouts, and especially in college football with the clock stopping. So the play designs from that standpoint, I was not happy with. That was by design, what you were talking about, that they were trying to keep him in the pocket, because that whole drive or previous drive as well, he had been breaking contain and getting 8-yard clips there. And
Sure.
if he would have gotten 8 yards, even if we would have stayed where we were instead of getting the sack, most likely Dicker hits that field goal, because he barely pushed it out to the.
He barely
pushed it.
And he's game for those moments like that field goal. But the thing is, it's like, let's be realistic here. Like I'm coming out here, you guys are asking me to boot this thing from Mexico at this point. Like come on, guys. Like he got sacked so far back. You know what thought crossed my mind before they showed Cameron Dicker? I thought at that point, when it was like 2 or 4, however many seconds left, I was like, damn, we about to throw a Hail Mary. That was the thought that crossed my mind. And then they showed it was like 57, 58 yards, and I'm like, all right, well,
He had the leg.
He did.
He had the leg.
Because he's a gamer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the team and the staff and everybody, it's just it fell apart. But I just wanted to get your take on those two things before we wrapped up. Congrats again to Iowa State. I know last year they kept saying we didn't give them any credit. Iowa State was a big reason. I think Texas has more talent, but credit to Iowa State's coaching staff, and they have some ballers on their side, no doubt.
I think that was one of the arguments that we were saying at the pre-game. I guess the preseason video that we sent out was when they released the preseason All Big 12 team, and Sam was up there, and you and I both were saying, should Brock Purdy be up there?
That was a real conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, it's not like we're disrespectful to Iowa State.
Brock Purdy won the game, but I didn't feel like Brock Purdy necessarily outplayed.
He didn't outplay. He didn't outplay. I think they played to a stalemate, honestly.
Yeah.
If you factor in passing yards and also rushing yards, I think they played to a stalemate, honestly.
To me, the difference is Matt Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, short week, having your team ready to go, travel.
Honestly, hey, hats off to you. Iowa State may be a better team than Texas, but no team with only like 2 to 3 days of prep for a team should beat a team that has played
20. They had 20 days.
20 days. Well, realistically, to prep for them, probably around 8 days. Realistically, so they're a good team, but I don't think they're that much better than us. That they should walk in here and just beat us. Honestly, that was my whole prediction, was going off of the fact of preparation time. Hey, whatever, they came in and did it.
Yeah. We can go ahead and wrap up. I don't know if there's anything in the chat you want to address. Well, actually, we'll wrap on the recording, guys. We'll be back more. For those of you in the live chat, stick around, but we're going to wrap on the recording piece. We'll be back more just to kind of make more sense of this as some time elapses and we watch a little bit more football this weekend. But really thankful for everybody that frequents our channel and rocks with us. So horns always up for those in the recording. All right, so that's done. We got, you want to go another 5 minutes here? It's 1 hour 54 minutes here. We got 420 in the chat, so some people came back to see Tran. That's awesome. Because we were down around 380, 300, 340 likes. We appreciate y'all. Um, and I know we've covered a lot in this very short period of time. But Trent, I mean, so we talked a lot about the coaches, so I'm gonna go ahead and rehash this since you're here. What's your overall stance with what Texas needs to do from a coaching perspective?
If we can't hire a home run hire, we shouldn't just hire someone just to get him out. Honestly, I mean that's where I still stand at. I don't want to be back here 3 years later doing the same dance and paying another guy something that he didn't deserve. So if we can't get a Kyle Shanahan, if we can't get an Urban Meyer, if we can't get a Dabo Sweeney, if we can't get a Nick Saban, we need to roll the dice and have an off season with Tom Herman and his crew. Because I don't want to. I really don't want to be doing this over and over again.
I 100% agree.
Someone actually, I wanted to touch on something. I just saw it said. I think where was it? It was Caden Stearns. Caden Stearns has been playing bad of this year, and I said he has. So Caden Stearns, I have a theory here. So him being a ball hawk was allowing him to play the safety. I mean, I play the safety position and play the quarterback's eyes and be able to read him. Now he's had to switch over to the Brandon Jones role because Brandon Jones was kind of the box safety. He was the one. That's why he was second on the team in tackles like 3 years straight. That's what Caden Stearns has turned into right now. He's not.
He is a box safety.
He's
I
not
agree.
He's and honestly, he's not the best. He's not the best cover guy in the world. So, I don't think we need a safety that can play that box safety for him, and he could go back to his natural position of the free safety, roaming the whole field, the quarters of the field.
Honestly, at this point, and they can't do this now because Chris Adamore gotten so many reps at the Spur. Mm-hmm. But Chris Adamore is just a better football player.
He played great today, by the way.
He is.
He played great.
He's great, but I think Chris Adamore could help you over there. Or, I mean, now I could also see if Chris Ash and the coaching staff's like, hey, we want to leave
Tyler Owens.
He's Chris Adamore body. Alone. Tyler Owens he's still in the oven. He's one of those guys. They're not going to trust him.
You gotta let him sit on the cooling rack if you're gonna let true freshman Alfred Collins get in there. I know Alfred Collins is a beast, but this guy is a athletic freak.
I agree. You got to get the freaks on the field. Look at Overshown. Mm-hmm. Just get him on the field and let him figure it out.
Overshown was playing too fast the first 3 games of the season. And it started clicking with him. You're like, okay, I could play. And he's been balling out. I honestly think that he outplayed Osai, which I love having him and Osai because they say they're the most competitive. They like going against each other on about stat for stat or big plays. So
they both played at a high level today. So Buddy Deal actually brought up something else that I was going to get to, because I've seen enough good football from Anthony Cook to where I would consider Anthony Cook just going to Spur and then seeing what Chris Adamore does and letting him beat out Caden Stearns. Like, seriously, man, because I mean, we're gonna have to figure this out because Chris Brown is gonna go to the league. That's gonna be a competition between BJ Foster and who's the other brother? I'm blanking now. It's probably gonna be BJ Foster, and I'm blanking on somebody else back there.
Who are you talking about? What position are you talking about?
Safety, the other safety side. Anyway, BJ Foster would probably replace Chris Brown, and then you would have Adamore or Tyler Owens, like you said, at the other spot. So who's R? Why do you keep saying I need to chill out? What are you talking? You're not making any sense. Why do you keep saying? You've been saying that for like an hour, and it's annoying. Like, what's your point? You just type in a type? Alford and Jaron Thompson.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the other. Yeah. I'm sorry,
Okay,
guys.
Alford.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we
Estelle
got to let
is
people.
Estelle
We got.
still around? Is it still the
They
early
don't let
two
them play.
thousands?
No, stop. I was thinking of Alford. Thank you, guys. Xavier Alford. Tyler Owens, but here's and it better not be the next staff where Tyler Owens gets out there and it's like, oh yeah, we just need to move him over here, and he's fine.
I don't know. We're nitpicking right here because I thought the defense played great. They held the team to 23
Agreed.
points. They did everything they needed to do.
Agreed.
So it's really hard to knock a team for doing that.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with it. We'll get some more mods on here. Dustin and Connor have been doing their best to keep up with it, but I guess as we grow, we need more people to have eyeballs on this, because I think this is the biggest chat we've had so far.
Overshown, I think he needs one more year of tape before he goes pro.
One more year. Let him be dominant. Let him be dominant the way Osai's been dominant this year, and he'll get there. The NFL loves people like especially today's league with his frame. Perfect.
That is high praise for Tyler Owens, for Sean Taylor, but faster.
Guys.
That's high praise.
Guys. See, this is the type of stuff where it's like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and we gotta go.
So, with everyone saying that Sam, he's just not good, Sam has willed this offense. So, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. It's not bad. He's very.
Terry Bradshaw said that Sam was white. Terry Bradshaw is also.
That's funny though. The Terry I will say this, that Terry Bradshaw comment that Abdul just made.
Yeah, he did say that.
That's funny. That's actually. I can't even hate. That's
Literally,
funny.
Most track sprinter guys, they're all fast twitch muscles, so they lift a lot of weights. So him benching 350 does not surprise me at all. Tran, you're selfish. I want Overshowed here too. I call him Mr. PER.
He is. He's so efficient with his snaps and I mean, I do think there's some validity to that, Frederick, though. All the football games that Sam Ellinger's had an opportunity, that's why he and Tom Herman are married at the hip with this, because they've gotten all the shots. Like today, it's not deep. Win and in. We'll win and you're still in. Lose and you're out.
Yep.
At home, there's no excuses. You had all the rest of the world, and y'all scored 7 points after the first quarter. 7 points. 7 points on senior day, last game, and there's just still too many mistakes, like to the point where you're resorting to. And Iowa State fan is going to jump in here, as they should, and say, hey, we'll take blame in some of the reason why they only scored 7, and they did a great job of adjusting. But where were our adjustments to the adjustments? The way Iowa State adjusted on offense,
there weren't any.
There weren't any. We were like, oh, they stopped outside zone with Bijan Robinson. Well, let's not give it to him anymore. That was our adjustment. So, hey, we just touched on it, Cooper. Perfect timing. That was our adjustment. He's eating like that. We stopped running it. There was no other diversity in the run game, and we don't feature our running backs in the throw game, which also would help the quarterback.
This game?
We've missed Keontae in the throw game because I haven't seen them run a running back screen to anybody but him.
Roshan today. They did it to Roshan for a pretty big play.
They did.
Was it Roshan? I know they
I
ran
saw
a
them.
screen.
They ran a screen at Jordan Whittington.
Yeah, okay, it was Whittington. You're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
But I'm just saying in general, like even the dump off, like the late in the game, like they only throw it to Roshan when they absolutely had to, and of course they get good
Well,
yards.
it's not just the screen game that Keontae is good at. He also can go over the middle too.
Yeah, he runs the seam
So,
routes. Keontae's been really, and he scored last year on the seam route.
mhm.
That's what I'm saying. All these running backs have skill sets that can help you, but Bijan Robinson, throw him a tunnel screen. Just keep him engaged. Give him something. Run a toss. I don't know. I don't know. I like that Whittington play though.
Yeah.
Because as a play caller on 3rd and 11, you really needed a completion there. And so to get the ball in his hands like that, that was good. That was actually a good play call. Unfortunately, there's too few and far in between. I'll be making some more basketball videos for the guys who talking about hoops right now. There's a big
curb
game.
your expectations. Remember,
Yeah.
it's one game against Rio Grande Valley High School.
Hey, don't disrespect them. They're supposed to finish second or third in the WAC, they said. I thought BJ could have played more. Somebody said, "What'd you think of BJ today?" He didn't play a whole lot, as much as we've seen. Honestly, at this point, if Caden Stearns is going to play like that, then BJ Foster can give me better snaps. But Caden Stearns also tackled well in the
Yeah.
box. It's just that's all he is right now.
He's been he's been tackling. He missed one key tackle, I think, on the first play of their last drive on Brees Hall's big run, his biggest run. But other than that, he was pretty sure-handed tackler today. I mean, Nate, keep looking for that hope. I'm just saying, just curb the expectations off of one game. They look good though. They look good. There wasn't a lot of rust.
Yeah, the Davidson game's going to be tough on Monday, so I might do some content after that. But let's just
Yeah, I thought Jalen Green had a pretty good game today.
Yeah, and he do we know what his injury was?
No, all I saw was him walk to the tent. That's it. I don't know what it was. Okay. Maybe someone in the chat world will know.
Yeah, I thought he was putting together one of his most complete games here, run and pass.
Yeah, I could see Sam as a fullback. Tight end, I think he's a little bit too small.
All depends. So the Hudson
on
Card
who
versus
on who the coach is.
On who the coach is and what offense you're running.
Ankle.
All depends.
Ankle was his issue.
Okay. Thank you. I hope you're right, because we've had people come in here and be so wrong in the chat before. Okay, multiple people confirming. Thank you. Thank you.
So Jim, so Sam turning down the NFL money. So the only people that get guaranteed money is second and first round. Do you think with the tape that he's put out this year, is he a first or second round quarterback? Do you? Anybody?
No. I do think, though, people are going to be surprised, though. So that's the thing. Like, is he going to go to the Senior Bowl? Matters. Like, all that matters. Like, I've seen people worse than Sam get drafted in the second round.
No, I know.
Like, I'm talking about throwing the football and all the things he struggles with way less stats at smaller schools get drafted. I'm not saying he's going to be no, the first round stuff has sailed. Second round stuff has probably sailed. But when we start getting in that fourth, fifth range, and also you got to look at how many quarterbacks are going to be in this draft, right? Like, is he, because right now I think Todd McShay or one of these guys has him as like QB6.
Oh, I thought it was
6 or
8.
7 or whatever. Like if he's in the top 10, you're draftable. That's the point. There's going to be like there's
But
very
after the first
rarely.
3 guys off the board, it's a crapshoot at that point.
Then
So
it comes down to team preference too.
yeah.
Team prep. Like there's people that are going to get drafted because they interview well. The coaches like them and they think, oh, this guy over 4 or 5 years is either going to develop into a really good backup quarterback, or if we can change his throwing motion. Like how these coaches are, and it's going to be very easy for any of these coaches to fall in love with Sam Ellinger during the interview process. Let's not act like we haven't seen this before.
So with that said, who's coming out of the draft next year if he's thinking about draft position? No, I know. I'm just picking on things just to talk about. But like this year, there's Kyle Trask who's stepped up. There's
It's loaded. Like
yeah,
you,
it's
so
loaded. Yeah,
so start top down, right? So you have Trevor
Justin
Lawrence,
Fields,
Justin Fields. You have
the
Wilson
guy
from
from that guy.
BYU,
Mhm.
right? Zach Wilson from BYU. Then you have
The guy from North Dakota,
North Dakota,
or
Trey Lance.
yep,
You have Trey Lance. So that's
Kyle,
four. That's four
Kyle
right there.
Trask,
Kyle Trask.
Max Jones is
Mac Jones probably not going to leave.
okay.
I think he still has another year. I wouldn't put Trask 5. Jamie. Then you have people like Jamie Newman who
Mm-hmm.
didn't who opted
Who
out.
hasn't put out enough tape, but he'll probably throw well during his pro day
Yeah,
or during.
he's been spending all his time getting ready, and Kellen Mond, and these are all Kellen Mond right now is having a better senior year than Sam Ellinger.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd say that. So these are, and then and you have people like Kyle Trask and Tanner Morgan from Minnesota, like that's the crew he's gonna be in, right there. That little mix. Who are the other Senior Bowl invites? Does anybody have it was 6? I think they had 5 confirmed. I know Kellen Mond was in there. I know
Shane Buechele,
Trask.
yeah. Someone says Shane Buechele.
Shane Buechele.
Yeah.
So Shane Buechele was the one who I think hasn't gotten an invite yet, and I was lobbying for him to get an invite.
Mm-hmm.
Either him or De'Aaron King. Ian Book. Ugh, that's such a. Ian Book is so small. He has like no arm, but he's accurate. More accurate than Sam.
Yeah, but who is he going to go against next year? Bo Nix?
No, Bo Nix is no. Next year would probably be Sam Howell from UNC.
Yeah.
For 2022. Trying to think of
Jones would be one too.
Spencer Rattler at that point could leave.
Oh yeah, he could leave after that, but I think he may stay another year.
Keaton Slovis from
USC.
Would be big. That he's but at this point then also you'd be talking about a quarterback that's almost 24, 25 years old.
Thank you, show you Harris. I think you got the joke that I was busting balls about the Bo Nix comment.
JT Daniels has gotten better too, and Georgia will never be able to explain to me why he wasn't playing from jump
until eight games down.
Like that makes no sense. I know it was the question of the eligibility, but he looked like the best player they had the last game Georgia played, JT Daniels, after they were getting such bad quarterback play. Oh yeah, Brock Purdy for this year.
Yeah,
forgot about that. Brock Purdy's definitely grading ahead of Sam. Excuse me, I put some respect on his name. Sorry about that. Yeah, Sam has an uphill battle either way, though. Spencer Rattler, guys, we're talking about NFL's. Spencer Rattler has way more arm talent than Samuel Ellinger.
Yes, we know this.
Come on now, watch the games. It's not even me being a fan, right? Like, just watch the games.
Am I excited about something new next season? I an off season of preparation.
A real one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a real one. I agree. Because at least right now, but the amount of time they had off to work on themselves, man, and they just come out and it's still the same crew. It's just, ugh, it sucks. It sucks. Anyway, man, I know you got to run, so we can go ahead and wrap up here. I know I've already said that.
Hey, thanks a lot, Cook and Co.
Thank you for the donation, Cook and Co. I didn't even know you were still in here, man. You probably left and came back, and we still here.
Real quick, the non-knockout prize fight tomorrow. Tyson.
So what are the rules? I'm glad you brought this up. So now they're saying
I haven't texted you. I've been meaning to text you about this. Like, I read that shit about them. No one's allowed to knock anyone out. Is that a legit rule?
I don't believe either one of them is going to follow said rule. Why would they even sanction the bout then? And for those who don't know, we're talking about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
RJJ, yeah.
Tomorrow. So I first I heard like no cuts. Like if anybody gets cut, then the fight is over. 2-minute rounds. Now they're saying no knockouts. Then why do you have Mike Tyson in the ring?
Like, to me, that why are we paying $70 for a pay-per-view for a WWE pay-per-view?
I don't think they're gonna follow those rules.
Yes,
have you guys seen?
Jim,
have you guys been seeing them hit the pads?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that Nate Robinson and Jake Paul are the co-main event.
Which I do want to watch.
I do as well.
Guilty. I want to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped, but he can box. So like above at like an amateur like level. I should say, like, he knows how to turn over his punches and somewhat try to move around. So I don't know. Thank you for asking me that, though.
People don't realize how athletic Nate Robinson is, though. Could have played in the NFL, played in the NBA. Athletic freak.
You don't want to pay $60 for Badu Jack? The disrespect. Oh my God. Y'all are hilarious. They had the weigh in. I must have missed it because I'm talking to you guys. Oh man. I gotta go find the video of the weigh in. I'm sure they got it online. I don't want to miss any content from this fight. That's where I'm at. Jones is at 210. I knew Mike was around 220.
Heaviest he fought at was what, 185? Was that the heaviest he fought at? Or did he?
No, he beat Ruiz. He weighed 200 when he beat Ruiz for the heavyweight belt. Nate, yes, definitely will be watching Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. Errol Spence first fight after the car accident, and going against right away going against a former champion in Danny Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a harder fight, but I think Earl's going to be motivated a little bit by seeing what Terrence Crawford just did to Kell Brook and understanding, like, hey, I got to maintain my reputation here at 147, because 147, we're starting to separate the boys from the men. And I think as good as Danny Garcia is, and Danny Garcia's style-wise actually matches up well with Errol Spence, I think Errol Spence will pull the fight out. I don't know if he knocks out Danny Garcia or stops him or anything like that, but I think Errol Spence will do enough to get the win and maintain his undefeated record. But we will never hear the end of it from Danny Garcia's father, Angel Garcia, if they win. Oh, my Lord. It'll be worse than Teofimo's dad.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Roy's chinny right now. We talk about this. Trey and I have this conversation all the time about guys getting chinny at the end of their career, man. They just start falling all over the place.
So
somebody posted the weigh-in link.
If honestly, if there's no knockouts available for this, I put my money on Roy. Honestly, because he's
Roy
a
said he
better
wanted to.
technical boxer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Roy said he wanted to take him into deep waters and drown him.
And it's just Roy talking his Roy. He also said he was going to come out with another rap song for this one. So
Y'all must have forgot.
two. That's what he said.
Yeah. Y'all must have forgot. All right. Let's wrap up here, Tran. I'm gonna go ahead and close out.
Ryan Day test positive for COVID-19. Is that legit?
That is true.
Okay.
That is true. I think it's going to be a non-issue, though.
Is he going to have the healing power of Nick Saban?
The
Sneezes it out. He sneezes it out.
Somebody said, "Bless us with the link for the fight tomorrow." Okay. All right, guys, we got to run. Appreciate y'all. It's tough. Y'all make it easier having these live chats for everybody to go through it. A lot of ridiculous names were thrown out today. I can't edit that stuff out, but hey, you know, if you want to show your ass on the live chat, you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But Tran, thank you for.
Jeez.
Tran, thank you for coming.
I did see that someone did see the jersey. He said he watched an episode of the jersey on here. So there you go.
Hey, that's a win for me today. Anytime somebody, I agree, Nate. We need boxing. For the sake of boxing in the 147, they need Spence to win because that is your super fight, Crawford Spence. And Crawford set the tone because Spence, depending on how you look at it, Spence set up Kell Brook in some way because he did, as my man's not here today, but he did fracture the brother's orbital bone. But now, you know, when he fights Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford annihilated him. So, but we need to see that fight. Those are the two guys that have always stood a cut above everybody else is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. But we appreciate y'all. Oh, somebody said, what's your IG? Just hit Fanatic Perspective on IG. You'll find us. And I always put my links in the description as well. So you'll see it. You'll see it. We'll talk recruiting later. We really are about to sign off here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stream. Tran, anything else you want to say?
No, appreciate you having me on.
All right.
Get back safe here.
I know. I'll be back soon enough. Guys, I'm going to have to do some videos for a little bit from the lair, but until then, but
from an undisclosed location.
From an undisclosed location, but just stick with me. I'll be back to Texas soon enough. Guys, horns always up. Tran, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Peace. I'm
Bye, guys.
End.